He was fine, laughing last night, even played cards with the grandkids, and then, boom, collapsed in the kitchen. They said it was a heart attack, yes, but what the doctor whispered later, that was worse. It started in the gut, he said, and it didn't start yesterday. You ever hear that before? A heart stops beating because of what was rotting inside. See, the gut is like a silent forest, dense, dark, looks calm from the outside. But when it goes bad, it poisons everything. Not with pain, not with a warning, with something worse: fatigue, bloating, cravings you can't explain, brain fog, weak sleep, sudden weight gain, a mood that dips for no reason. And you say, maybe it's just age. No, it's not. It's rot. Here's what they won't tell you. Over time, tiny particles from your food, preservatives, antibiotics, fake sugars, start lining the walls of your intestines. They coat the inside like grime in a dirty pipe. And the healthy bacteria, they die. You're left with chaos. Bad bacteria take over. They multiply. They eat first, and they leave behind toxins, tiny poisons, dumped straight into your bloodstream. Now think about that. Toxins floating through your blood every day. No wonder you're tired. No wonder you're inflamed. No wonder your heart's overworked, your liver's exhausted, and your brain feels like it's walking through fog. It's not just what you eat. It's what eats you. Now here's the kicker. This doesn't take years. In some people, it starts in weeks, after a round of antibiotics, after switching to cheaper processed meals, after skipping fiber, and suddenly the gut flips, the balance tips, and everything changes. You think you're slowing down because you're older, but your gut's been waving a red flag for months. And one day, the whole system fails. We treat it like a stomach issue. But in truth, this is the body's command center, your immunity, your hormones, your mood, even how fast you age. It all starts in the gut. So if your belly's been bloated, if your skin's breaking out, if your energy crashes by midday, stop. Don't ignore it, because the gut doesn't scream. It whispers until it's too late. But here's the good news. This can be fixed with food, not pills, not trends, real food. Simple, clean, gut-loving food, the kind that doesn't just go down, it cleans you out, it heals, it resets. And today, I'll show you exactly what that looks like. But first, let me tell you about George, because George did everything right, and almost lost everything anyway, until one tiny change brought him back. You need to hear this. George was 68, retired firefighter, tough hands, soft heart, the kind of man who used to carry people out of burning buildings. Now, he needed help standing up from the couch. I just don't have it in me anymore, he told his daughter one night. She thought he meant energy, but what he really meant was hope. It started small, slower mornings, a little extra weight around the belly. He joked about it, called it his grandpa gut. But something didn't sit right, literally. Food made him heavy, sleep didn't refresh him, his joints ached, his mood swung, and worst of all, his mind got cloudy. I walk into a room, he said, and forget why I came in. They ran tests. Heart, fine. Blood sugar, borderline. Cholesterol. A little high, but nothing scary. The doctor shrugged. Could be age. But George wasn't buying it. He wasn't lazy, wasn't depressed. He just felt like something inside him had turned off. And then came the night he stood up too fast and collapsed. No heart attack, no stroke, but his blood pressure had dipped like a roller coaster. ER, overnight stay, more tests, still no answers. Until an old gastroenterologist, white hair, glasses always slipping off his nose, asked one simple question. How's your gut feeling these days? George blinked. My gut? The doctor nodded. Bloating, gas, irregular bathroom stuff, brain fog, skin breakouts, cravings. George sat back. All of it. And that's when the truth came out. Not cancer, not heart failure, just years of silent inflammation. A gut microbiome so out of balance, it was messing with everything else. The doctor explained it like this. Your body's fighting a war, But your army, the good bacteria, got wiped out. What's left? Junk food-loving, inflammation-making troublemakers. George was stunned. But I eat normal, not junk all the time. And the doctor said something he'd never forget. It's not just what you eat, it's what your gut can handle. Right now, it can't handle much. So George made a decision. No more brushing it off. No more pretending it's just age. He started slow, one change at a time, and within 3 weeks he felt it. The fog began to lift. Mornings got clearer. The gut pain eased. His cravings faded. He even started walking again, first around the block, then a full mile. "I feel like me again," he said one day, surprised by his own voice. It wasn't magic. It was food, real food. The kind that doesn't just fill you up, it frees you. George isn't a superhero. He's just a man who listened to his gut before it was too late. And now, so can you. Let me show you what he changed. But first, let's talk about what was really going wrong inside. Not in some textbook way. In a way that makes sense. In a way you'll never forget. Picture this. Your gut is like a bustling city. Millions, no, trillions of tiny workers, each with a job, a role, a purpose. Some build, some clean, some protect, some digest, and some fight off intruders like tiny soldiers with shields. They're called microbiota, your gut bacteria. Now here's the twist. They outnumber your own cells. You are, quite literally, more bacteria than human. And that's not a joke. It's biology. But here's the catch. This city, your gut, needs balance. Good guys versus bad guys. Helpers versus troublemakers. A little chaos is normal. But when the troublemakers take over, that's when the real damage begins. So what tips the balance? Antibiotics, stress, sugar, processed food, lack of fiber. Even lack of sleep can throw this world into chaos. Imagine flushing a city with sewage every day and cutting the power. What happens? Trash piles up, the streets flood, the workers stop working, and crime takes over. That's your gut on the standard Western diet, heavy on sugar, light on plants. Now, let's go deeper. Because this is where it gets wild. Your gut wall is just one cell thick, one layer. That's all that stands between what's inside your intestines and the rest of your body, one fragile line. When it's healthy, it's tight, like a fortress wall, but with too much inflammation, too much junk, too many antibiotics, that wall breaks down. They call it leaky gut. Tiny gaps form. And now, bacteria, food particles, toxins, things that should never leave the gut, start leaking into your bloodstream, and your immune system goes on red alert. It sees everything as an invader, fires up the inflammation, not once, not twice, every day. Inflammation becomes chronic, silent, low-grade, but deadly over time. Joints swell, energy crashes, skin flares up, brain fog creeps in, even your heart starts to struggle. Because this isn't a stomach issue anymore, it's a whole-body war. Now here's something they won't tell you in the brochures. Over 70% of your immune system is in your gut. 70%. That means your ability to fight off illness, stay sharp, stay young. Depends on those gut bacteria working right. And if they're not, you feel it everywhere. But now, here's the part you've been waiting for. Because this damage, it's not permanent. The gut can heal faster than you think. Those cells in your gut lining, they replace themselves every 5 to 7 days. That means in 1 week. You can start rebuilding your fortress, but only if you give it the right tools, not pills, not powders, food, real food, the kind that feeds the good bacteria, the kind that seals the gut wall, the kind that sweeps out the trash. You don't need a detox tea. You need gut fuel. And that's exactly what I'll show you next. The foods that cleanse, the foods that calm, the foods that fight back. From the inside out. Let's get into it. Let's start with a story. It's about yogurt, but not the kind you think. Susan, 61, retired school teacher, sweet, sharp, always kept her fridge neat. She ate low-fat yogurt every morning, thought it was healthy. Vanilla, fruit on the bottom, 0 fat, but also 19 grams of sugar. That's more than a donut. She couldn't figure it out. why she always felt bloated by noon, why her pants fit tighter, even though she was eating light. Then her daughter visited, pulled out the yogurt and said, Mom, this is dessert with a mask on. They switched it to plain whole milk yogurt, no sugar, and added a spoonful of berries, a few crushed walnuts, and a drizzle of real honey. 1 week later, Susan called her daughter in shock. My stomach's calm, she said. It's like someone turned off the gas inside me. Why? Because real fermented foods, plain yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, are alive. They're full of probiotics, the good guys. But most store-bought healthy yogurts, they kill the good stuff with sugar. Tip 1. Feed the gut, not the craving. Choose real, fermented, unsweetened foods, and let your bacteria throw the party. Now, second story, and it's about a man who hated vegetables. Frank, 72, former truck driver, never touched greens unless they were deep-fried. His wife begged him to eat better. He refused, said it was rabbit food. Then came the diverticulitis, pain, inflammation, emergency room. Frank came home scared, but still stubborn, until a neighbor brought over a pot of homemade lentil soup, soft, warm, full of carrots, celery, garlic, olive oil, and fiber. Frank tasted it. This doesn't taste healthy, he joked. This tastes like real food. He finished the pot in 2 days, and something happened. Less bloating, smoother digestion, less pain. Why? Because fiber is the gut's janitor. It sweeps, it feeds the good bacteria, it helps everything move. Frank didn't need salads. He needed plants cooked with love. Beans, lentils, stewed greens, roasted root vegetables, soft, warm, healing. Tip 2, don't chase fiber. Cook it, warm it, make it part of your comfort. Your gut doesn't need punishment, it needs care. Third story, and this one is personal. My Uncle Joe, big laugh, big belly, always had antacids in his pocket. He popped them like candy, heartburn, every night, said, must be the tomato sauce. But it wasn't. It was the timing. See, Joe used to eat late, dinner at 9, snack at 10:30, then straight to bed. His gut never had time to rest. It was working all night, processing, digesting, inflaming. Until one day, a friend told him, try eating dinner earlier and nothing for 12 hours. Uncle Joe scoffed. That's starvation. But he tried it. Dinner at 6:30, no snacks after. Breakfast at 7. Within days, he slept deeper, no heartburn, woke up lighter. Because the gut, it heals when it rests. That's called intermittent fasting. But you don't need to call it anything. Just stop eating late. Give your gut the night off. Tip 3. Rest your gut like you rest your body. 12 hours between dinner and breakfast. Let the healing begin while you sleep. 3 simple shifts. Fermented food, fiber with warmth, time to rest. Not a diet, not a trend, a return to rhythm. Your gut remembers how to heal. You just have to stop getting in its way. And now, let's finish this together, because if you've made it this far, you already know it's not too late. Take a breath, not a shallow one, a deep one. In through the nose, out through the gut. That's where this journey ends and begins. Because your gut, it's not broken. It's not beyond repair. It's not too old, too tired, or too late. It's waiting. Waiting for you to listen. Not to the noise, not to the labels, not to the voices that say, that's just aging. But to something older, wiser, closer, inside you. Let me ask you something. Do you remember how you felt when you were strong? When your body moved without cracking and sighing? When your mind was clear and mornings had momentum? That version of you, it's not gone. It's not a ghost. It's just buried. Buried under years of stress, of processed meals, of quick fixes. I'll eat better next week. But here's the miracle no one talks about. The gut is patient. You give it a week, it gives you clarity. You give it a month, it gives you energy. You give it your attention, and it gives you back your life. I'm not saying it's easy, but I am saying it's worth it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to turn your kitchen upside down or buy $40 powders. You just need to make one better choice, then another, And another, George did it, Susan did it, Frank, Uncle Joe, they're not special, they just started, and you can start right now. Next time you open your fridge, ask yourself, is this feeding the problem or the solution? Next time you reach for the snack at 10 p.m., pause, say, I'm healing now, and walk away proud, because you are not falling apart. You are waking up, returning, rebuilding from the inside out. And your gut, it's cheering you on. So take that first step. Not tomorrow, not next Monday. Now, you've got this.